Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from the beautiful Carolinas. Today's topic is going to be the narcissist needs the relationship to break. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. So the narcissist needs many things when you are in the relationship with them. They need your empathy, your love, time, energy, effort. They need all of your resources. They need your money. They need your status, your social circle. They need everything for you that you have to give to them. That's what they want. So the narcissist, remember, they are a taker. And what they want to do is they want to take. And when they're done, what do they want to do? That's right, they want to take more. But one thing the narcissist needs throughout the relationship, specifically after they have sunken their dirty fangs into you, in other words, after you have professed to them that you love them, or you married them, or had children with them, or bought a house with them, or relocated, or started a business, once they knew that they had you, that's when the narcissist began to break the relationship. And many times this happens, let's say a romantic relationship for a moment, many times it happens the day after you're married. Many times it happens the moment you relocate halfway around the world or to a different town, city, state, or country. Many times it happens after the ink is dry on the business that you just signed and you went into partnership with the narcissist. Many times it's after you give them money or put their name on the deed to your house or a property or something. Because the narcissist, what they want to do, and they achieve this and they accomplish this throughout their whole life, if you want the truth of it, they wear a mask and they manipulate people. Now what they do is they get people to fall in love with them when in fact the narcissist cannot fall in love with anybody. The narcissist has no love and no empathy. What they have is fake humanity and fake empathy and fake love, and they can mimic back to anything that you tell them or told them in the past. That is why so frequently you will catch the narcissist staring at you, giving you that smirk, when you will see the pitch blackness of their pupils just soaking in all of your energy. This is exactly what the narcissist does. But one thing they needed was to break the relationship, and they tried to break the relationship over and over and over once they knew that they had you. So this second stage of the narcissistic abusive cycle, the first one is the love bomb / euphoric stage. The second stage is the devaluation stage. That's where you're trapped in the narcissistic fog and you don't know what's going on. You're trying to get back to that euphoric stage and you can never quite get back there. You're given little breadcrumbs of hope, of fake love and fake empathy, but it's not sustainable because each and every relationship with the narcissist, it has an expiration date, and the narcissist can only wear the mask for so long. The third part of the narcissistic relationship usually is the discard or the ending of it. And at times there will be the fourth part, which is a Hoover. Remember the time of year we're in right now, you are susceptible to a holiday Hoover, not only now, but 365 days out of the year. If you have not gone no contact and blocked the narcissist, remove them, deleted them and all flying monkeys and people associated with them, and begin to heal, or you have healed. But those four parts of the narcissistic abusive cycle, they just go around and around and around and around. And as the thumbnail mentions, the narcissist wanted to break the relationship. They needed to break the relationship. And I'll give you so many illustrations as to how they did it, why they did it, and why they're doing it right now with whomever they're with on the planet. Number one is throughout the relationship, again, after they knew they had you, they would give you mini discards. They would be testing you. They would be perhaps not replying to your texts as they used to. Remember, in the beginning of the relationship, you probably were texting the narcissist and you got a whole litany of emojis: hearts, puppies, rainbows, unicorns, smiles, all the positive things. And then what you found yourself doing is replying back to the narcissist those exact same emojis. And it was a little game for a while there. Who would send the most heartfelt emojis? Well, you started off with sending 0. Next thing you know, you're sending 2. They're sending 5. You're sending 4. They're sending 10. You're sending 20. Next thing you know, they're sending 5. You're sending 25. They're sending 2. You're sending 30. They're sending 1. You're sending 40. They're sending nothing. And you're scratching your head as to what happened to the relationship. What happened to the relationship is it was a relationship built on quicksand, built on a house of cards. It was not stable. It could not ever be sustained. And the narcissist knew this, but they also knew that they had you manipulated, tricked, and trapped, and they were keeping you a mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, and financial prisoner, perhaps even in your own home when you were in that narcissistic fog, when you were being devalued each and every day. And this is, as I've mentioned a few times now, the narcissist tried to break that relationship many, many times with you. And what did you continue to do? I will tell you what you did. You were the glue that kept the family together. You were the glue that kept the relationship together. You were the glue that was working for the relationship, for the narcissist. You were giving to a fault. Maybe you were a people pleaser. Maybe you were a yes person. Maybe you didn't have boundaries. Maybe you couldn't say no, the strongest word in the English language. And when you say no to something or someone, you are saying yes to yourself. Play that again. The narcissist was always checking the pulse of the relationship that you were a part of. They were watching you from afar. They were watching the way you texted. They were watching if you were smiling or having too much fun. They were watching if you were crying during a movie. They were watching if you were waving hello to complete strangers as you would walk down the street. They would tease you and say things like, what, you're not running for governor or president, why are you waving to complete strangers? And you would just keep walking, scratch your head, look at them, give them a chuckle, but be in bewildered stage because you couldn't believe that, why can't you say hi to somebody? That's what you do. That's why you are a beautiful, bright, shining light. But the narcissist tried to take this away from you. They wanted to steal your beautiful abundance. They wanted to steal your energy. They wanted to keep you captive in that narcissistic fog, being devalued each and every day, week after week, month after month, year after year, perhaps even decade after decade. And they accomplished this for a period of time until when? Until they didn't. Now, the third part of the relationship, if you were discarded, my heart goes out to you. If you had to end it yourself, again, my heart goes out to you. Being in a narcissistic relationship for 1 minute is 1 minute too long. And if you have never experienced a narcissistic relationship, my hope is you are here on the channel in the community, gaining the wisdom, getting the free education, learning from the community, and sharing and understanding the experiences that people post in the community. These are real life experiences, and these are meant for you to become awakened and aware, educated, and empowered, because my hope is you don't have to go through a narcissistic relationship. But then again, so many of us in the community have. That's why we're paying it forward. But this, what I'm sharing, when the discard happened, what happened with you? Well, I'll tell you, you had to really dig in deep to yourself. You had to figure out who you were in that relationship with. And you found that needle in a haystack. Like all the blades of grass behind me, you found that one blade of grass, 1 in a billion. And you got your first light bulb moment. You were beginning to get the education on the narcissistic abusive cycle. And how you did that? Most likely you typed in a search engine, spouse won't talk to me. Or someone gave you a video, or you went into YouTube and said, what's a rage fit? I don't get it. And then ding, ding, ding. You're getting the awareness on toxic people all over the globe, maybe even narcissism. Why I'm saying all these things is the narcissist needed to break the relationship, not only with you, but with everybody, because the narcissist needs disruption. They need confusion. They need chaos. They need to be able to manipulate people. And when you are trapped in that fog and you don't know what you're up against, i.e. the narcissist, you weren't taught this in school, so you didn't know how to combat it. You did not know how to deal or how to process things. So you kept on working for the relationship. So going back to the discard, like I mentioned, what was probably one of the first things you did? You probably were crying for days or weeks or months. You probably were gaining weight or losing weight. You probably couldn't wrap your head around which had just happened. You were processing that relationship, perhaps of 6, 7, 10, 20 years, it was not what you thought it was. And then eventually, like I said, you get the needle in the haystack, and then you understand that you have to practice radical acceptance. You have to face the facts that relationship was not what you thought it was, and that person never loved you. They didn't care about you then, they don't care about you now, and they don't care about anybody other than themselves, including the new supply or their own family. These people are hollow, they're shallow, they're empty vessels. What they want to do is consume other people's energy, other people's resources. That is why they glom onto people, and they need a host that they can extract from. At one point, that was you. It certainly was me. But a funny thing happened post-narcissistic relationship. You were looking for closure. You were looking for answers. You were looking for solutions to the relationship that you were just a part of. You couldn't figure out why that person was not working with you, headed in the same direction, trying to build the relationship up. And then you figured out, wait a minute, this person actually never had my best interest at heart. And I'm now looking at myself and looking at the relationship and seeing who they are. And now I'm paying attention to all the red flags that I've uncovered from the length of that relationship. In other words, like I mentioned earlier in the video, when the texting, all the emojis that would be sent and then they just disappeared overnight. Well, that's a huge red flag. Another one would be your social media presence on their platforms. Maybe it was on a very popular social media platform and your picture or images of the two of you was pasted all over the place until the wedding bells rang. And then what happened when the wedding bells rang? Well, I'll tell you what happened. Slowly you became erased. Slowly you were removed from their social media presence. And the reason why that was because even though they married you, as an example, they still wanted to appear single. So for all the other unsuspecting sources of supply all over the globe who they were in communication with during your marriage, and believe me when I tell you, they were, all these people can just think, wow, they're single now. Okay, well, I can flirt with them, or I can send them naughty pictures, or whatever these people do. And that's how the narcissist was getting supply behind your back while you were still in the relationship with them. This is only one microcosm, one tiny little breadcrumb of exactly what these people do. But think about this. Why does the narcissist have multiple smartphones? Now, not everybody that has multiple smartphones is a narcissist, but it is a red flag. Why do you need 3 phones? Well, I'll tell you why. You need one for work, you need one for pleasure, or whatever your day-to-day life, and probably you need one for other sources of supply. Who knows? But the point is, I know that the smartphone is an integral part of the narcissist's repertoire in dishing out abuse and punishment and manipulating people. But the narcissist always wanted to appear single. Think about this one. Whether you were married or not, you're in a relationship with them, how many times would they be walking 10, 20, 30 feet or yards in front of you? Frequently. When you were attending events, barbecues, when you're going shopping, when you were walking through town, when you were walking to go visit neighbors, the narcissist frequently was walking way in front of you, maybe even behind you. But were they walking side by side with you, communicating with you, holding your hand and telling you how much they loved you? Of course not. Because the narcissist wanted to appear single. And the narcissist, when they were walking 30 feet or yards in front of you, what were they doing? They were driving a wedge between you and them, and they knew that. See, they were trying to break the relationship. They were trying to test you and to see if you would tolerate their poor behavior or if you would try to put up a boundary. And again, if you try to put up a boundary or you called them out and said, hey, what's going on here? We've been married X number of years and you're not even treating me properly. There's no respect here. You're walking right in front of me like you're single. What's going on? Well, then what would they do? They would tell you, oh, you're so insecure. You're lucky to be with me. Do you know how many people want to be with me? You're so lucky I deal with you. Don't be such a baby. Toughen up. Have thicker skin. You're the only person I have problems with. Get over yourself. What's wrong with you? You need help. Go see a therapist. They'll pepper you with things like that. And then what are you doing? Now you're on your way to a neighbor's house or barbecue. You hear those words, and what are you thinking? Oh my gosh, like, what's going on here? All I want to do is be loved and respected and honored and cherished. But this person doesn't even want me to be in a good mood. You're right. They didn't want you to be in a good mood. And when you attended that barbecue and went to the neighbor's house, you would be scratching your head, not in a good mood, and you would be kind of somber, like, what's going on? I don't get this. Why? But then you would try to put on a fake smile, and you would do it for a little bit. But the narcissist was beaming from ear to ear with that smirk, with the batting the eyelashes and the rose-colored cheeks, because they just got supply from putting you way down, devaluing you, not walking with you, not holding your hand, and not communicating with you. And then they go into the event, barbecue, and they're feeling great, like $1 million. And this is what happened over and over and over again, because the narcissist needed to break the relationship. And the longer you were in that relationship, the more the narcissist was testing you. They were testing you in the mornings. Watch this one. You get up, you're going to work, and the narcissist has to give you a ride to work. What happens? Well, when you're in the car, probably you're being given the silent treatment, or being blamed for something you did or didn't do, or being told how many things you need to do after you get out of work. In other words, you were given the endless to-do list, and your whole day was being diminished. When you got out of that car and you were dropped off at work, you'd be scratching your head again saying, what is going on here? I was just given the silent treatment for 20 minutes, and as soon as I get out of the car, this person's on their phone acting like they're in the best mood in the world, because that's the mask. They are totally devaluing you, and they're showing it to you when you're in the car, when they're giving you the silent treatment. It's so easy to see in hindsight, but when you're in it, you can't see it because you're in it too deep. And most likely, when you're in it, you're in love with the narcissist and they can't fall in love with you. Number 2 is you're working for the relationship and they are not. They're trying to break that relationship. And number 3, you're confused because you keep giving to a fault. You keep working for them and for the relationship. You keep on trying to patch the relationship up, and you never quite figure it out until you heal properly that relationship was never going to make it, because each and every narcissistic relationship has an expiration date. Yours was no different. This is how it works. This is how the cycle goes around and around and around. There's only one constant in the narcissistic abusive cycle, and it certainly isn't you. It's the narcissist. So go back in time. Think about how many times did the narcissist exclude or isolate their own family members, maybe their mom, maybe their sisters, maybe their own kids, maybe coworkers, maybe acquaintances, maybe neighbors, maybe business people, maybe people in communities. Think about this. It's the narcissist with the issues, with the concerns, with the problems, with the instability. The narcissist is trying to drive wedges between any relationship with you or with anyone that matters to you. This is what the narcissist does. And when you don't have the wisdom and you don't have the tools and you don't understand the definitions, the terms, the glossary on the narcissistic abusive cycle, in other words, when you don't know what stonewalling is, or the silent treatment, or what rage fits are, or what verbal abuse is, or what triangulation is, or what gaslighting is, when you don't know any of those things, you're up against a behemoth. You're up against a insurmountable force who is trying to crush you. And believe me when I tell you, when I say crush you, that is what I mean. They do not want you living your best life. They do not want you figuring out who they are. They do not want you healing. They do not want you dusting yourself off and picking yourself up by the bootstraps and healing and learning and growing and teaching and becoming awakened and aware. That's the last thing they want. They were banking on you post-discard not existing because they had done this before to other people. This is how they do it. They want to take everything from you, your belief in yourself, your social circle, your status, your identity, your resources. They want to take everything and they want to make sure that you have nothing. That is why think about this, when you're divorcing a narcissist, it usually gets dragged out a lot longer than you're anticipating. And just when you come to terms with a solution, let's say the assets and the division of child custody will be 50-50, and you think everything's going well, that's not going to happen. What's going to happen is the narcissist is going to want more money, and they're going to want more custody of the children. The custody thing is, I'll tell you this, most times the narcissist doesn't even want custody of the children. They just don't want you to have custody of the children. And the other thing is money. The number one thing the narcissist wants from these relationships is money. It's for you to catapult them from their low vibrational quagmire state to an elevated state. And when they get everything from you that they possibly could extract, then they put in place the new supply. They kick you to the curb. They break the relationship. They discard you perhaps, and they slither away into the darkness with an unsuspecting person who maybe has a large bank account. Maybe they have an inheritance. Who knows what they have, but they're providing something for the narcissist, something similar to what you used to provide for the narcissist. The thing is, your resources are now decimated and depleted. You have nothing left to give. Just like this tree behind me, you were the giving tree. You kept on giving and giving and giving and thinking the relationship would mend, thinking that the narcissist would wake up and be a good person. That will never happen. The narcissist only gets worse over time. Their looks fade, their resources become depleted, all of the relationships, including with their immediate family, become decimated. Wedges are driven left, right, and center, and people wake up to the narcissist. They sincerely do. I will share this with you. I coined this term about 2 years ago. I'm going to say it again. Everybody reveals themselves in time. Each and every one of us. So maybe the narcissist won't be revealed today. Maybe it won't be tomorrow. Maybe it will be in a couple of years. Maybe it'll be next month. Who knows? But the longer you are behaving a certain way in life, meaning if you're an authentic or genuine person, well, people will see that. And they will, most kind, loving people will applaud you for being a honest, forthright individual, a beautiful, bright, shining light, if you will. Flip it. If you're a toxic, narcissistic person or someone who vibrates in the low quagmire state, who doesn't want to do anything other than take and destroy relationships, that will be revealed in time. Because every time the narcissist discards somebody, or every time they blow up a relationship, that is one more skeleton in the closet of destruction that is haunting them, and it is over their shoulder. And that's why the narcissist is filled with anxiety. That's why they can't introspect. That's why they can't be accountable. That's why they don't care about anybody but themselves, because they're childish, they're cowards, they're bullies, they're empty, and they know what they do. Before I close the video, this is a question I get so frequently during one-on-one sessions. Does the narcissist know what they're doing? Yes, they do. They put their clothes on the exact same way you do. They breathe the same air and they eat the same food, which means they are understanding and knowing exactly what they're doing. Understand the message. So the narcissist needed to break the relationship. They needed to break every relationship, because half of the thing for the narcissist, half of the experience, I should say, there are three parts here, then I'll close the video. One is getting you to fall in love with them, or getting you trapped in that relationship. That's supply city for them. Second thing is extracting your resources from you, devaluation stage, i.e. the narcissistic fog. That is pleasurable for them also. And the third thing is, once the relationship is over, they're getting supply again, because now they can insert the new supply into the relationship, and they blame you for everything of the ending of the relationship, or they play the victim card, whatever they want to, and the cycle goes around and around and around. This is how it happens. But the narcissist needed to break the relationship because they got jaded and bored with the relationship that you were a part of and the relationship that they were in before they met you. And I'll tell you right now, the narcissist needs new shiny objects. They need new things. They need new relationships with people, not only romantically, but friendships, hobbies, tangible assets, resources, money, everything. This is what keeps the narcissist going. They need the fuel to extract from other people. That's why the narcissist is destined and doomed to stay in that cycle. They cannot ever escape it, and they know it, you know it, and I know it. So understand the message. The narcissist needed to break the relationship. They need to break every relationship. There is not one relationship with the narcissist where there is not damage inflicted upon another individual. It's just the way these things work. That's why you need to go no contact, block them, delete them, remove all flying monkeys and people associated with them. If not now, when? If you can't utilize gray rock, become dull and boring. So everyone, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning. No matter where you are on the planet, you are not alone. Remember that. You are not alone. God bless you. I love you all. And I hope you enjoyed the video. I loved doing this one. Have a great day, weekend. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. I love you guys. Bye.